Hi, my name is Joanne Cornell and I'm from Rosa's Creations. I'm going to show you how to do the French press hack with the LEVO tune machine. I'm also going to show you how I upgraded it and made it a little bit easier at the end in order to express the oils out of the herbs and get as much out of the machine as you can with this process, because it's not as easy to strain as it normally is with the pods. Normally you would use the pods and you would do everything in there. Let me just show you quick what they look like. I thought I was prepared, but I wasn't, I guessed. So this is what they look like. They have this, and it has a little silicone piece on the bottom so stuff doesn't get burned, and then you put the herb in here, and then you have a cover. So the cover goes on top like so. Okay? Thing with that is the fact that you end up not being able to hold a lot in there. So what people have been doing is doing 2 pods. Well, 2 pods gives you an ounce, but if you're using trim, you're only going to be able to do a half an ounce of oil in the trim according to the recipes, because you use 1 ounce of herb. So that still is, I mean, you should be able to do a full batch, and in order to do a full batch with trim, you have to do 2 ounces of trim and you have to do 1 ounce of herb. You can go and do it so it's not as strong, but why would you? I mean, it's kind of like, unless you don't have the money or don't, you know what I mean, like, yeah. Or maybe you're a beginner. If you're a beginner and you need to have it less potent for your edibles or something like that, then that's a good idea to do. Cut it in half. But I need to do it the full version. So what I'm going to do is do the hack. So what I'm showing you now is the end part, and then that way I can show you the beginning part, and I can do it all in one video without doing any cutting and splicing, because I still don't have an editing program yet. Sorry for the mess in the house, but I've been working on the herbs and infusing and doing a bunch of that. So it's just stuff that's here. I have herbs that are drying here on this counter. I have my cannabis, which I'm waiting to do this project with. I have some herbs in here which are dried. I'm kind of like trying to reorganize, and then I had to put my LEVO machine on my coffee station, so it's a little bit cluttered now because I want to be able to show you it too. Okay, so it was done, but I moved it from there to here, so now it's saying choose cycle, which is what you do when you normally start it, not end it, but this is the only way I can do this. Okay, so when it's done, like I said, I'm going to show you backwards. So when it's done, this is what's going to happen. You're going to open up the lid, and you're going to have your cannabis there. And you're going to have your cannabis or your herbs in there. Right now I have herbs. I have basil, I have oregano, and I have some sage in here. And I'm making oils for me. So then what you would normally do is when it's done the cycle, you're going to hit this button here, and it's going to drain. So you keep holding it, and it drains either into a jar or it drains into a thing. Most of the time, my mason jars are too tall to go underneath here. I wish they would have made it so that at least a mason jar would fit in here, but I have to do it with this. Okay, now see, it doesn't want to leak anymore. Oh, there we go. We're getting it to leak a little bit. But it's taking a while in order for it to leak. So I kind of want to hurry up this process, and I also want to make it so that I get as much out of here as possible. So what I'm going to do is open up the door. And now this is my upgrade to the press hack. I went to Salvation Army, and every time I go to Salvation Army or Savers or one of them thrift stores, I end up buying French presses. And the reason I do is because I do the loose leaf teas and stuff like that. And so I put the loose leaf tea in there, my mushrooms and herbs and everything else, and then I do a whole big a couple of cups at a time. But I'm going to use this in this hack. So what I'm going to do is this fits perfectly into the machine. That's why the French press hack works. I'll show you that in a couple minutes. So now if I just push down on here and I hit, now the oils are coming out a lot faster, and I'm going to get as much as I can out of this machine as possible. And you should probably use as much pressure as you can. Don't push them down in order to get it. This is instead of using a tea bag. Sorry for my, I have my bathing suit on. Sorry for that. I am actually headed to the beach. So I do have clothes on. It smells delicious. I think it's pretty much done. So now I'm going to show you what the finished product looks like. So mason jar. I'm going to pour it in here. Smells delicious. I'm actually going to put that back under there because in case it does leak or anything, I don't like to. So that's what the finished product looks like. So this is not cannabis oil. This is actually basil and oregano and sage in oil. I use extra virgin olive oil, and actually it's holding up my camera right now. So this is the oil I use. I like it. It does not have a oily taste to it, which I'm not too fond of an oil taste. So this does good. And I'm gonna use this for aromatherapy when I end up having clients for my Reiki. So you can also, if you don't have fresh herbs, you can also take and mix oils this way from there, and then put it into the oils and do it too. But I like doing the fresh oil, and I like doing fresh herbs, and I like putting it into the oils with the LEVO machine. So that is that. So now the cleanup is not as simple, but it's not that bad. Well, there's still plenty of oil up here. So let me see what I can do about getting rid of some of this. Like I said, this is the first time I use this. I just wanted to see if it was going to work. It's actually, there's oil on the top. So I want to do something to get it out of there. Oh, I know what to do. So that worked for most of it, but it didn't work for all of it. So now what I'm going to do is scoop out what's in here. Put it right in my press. So this is herbs and oil. What happened, I guess, is most of the oil went down into the bottom, but some of it stayed up on the top. And so there's still some there, and I want to get it all. I don't want to waste any of it. All right, so that looks pretty clean to me. So now I'm going to take the press and put it on here. push down, and I'm still getting a good amount of oil on the top right there. So I'll pour it into my jar. I might want to re-strain this one more time before I actually use it. Oops, you can't see. I did get a good amount. I'm doing it closer to, normally I put this somewhere else different so I can, but this is going to be press. I'm still getting a good amount of oil out of there. So then that is what I think about, that is how, sorry, camera died. Damn. Having all sorts of problems today, I guess. So I'll do this off camera later, but it smells really good. It's for aromatherapy. It's oils, essential oils, and I did it myself in the LEVO machine with the hack. So what I did is I put the oil in there, and I ended up taking, I put as much of the herbs. I ground them up into the blender with the oil and mixed it all up so that it was chunky with the herbs. Then I took it and put it into the machine, and then with the herbs, not cannabis, but with herbs you don't have to decarb. So then I just put it in there and let it do its thing. What I did do though is I lowered the level of the temperature level from 150 to 140 because I don't want it to burn. With the pods you have that a little bit of space and protection in order for the herbs not to burn. With the press you don't have a space there, so you have just a press screen there on the bottom, and then that's what's going to happen. That's going to just be there and right onto the bottom of the pan. Alright, so now the cleanup. So the cleanup was pretty much that, and now you pull out the screen, and I take the screen out by just doing this. I get a little knife and I stick it in the hole of where the press is, and it pulls right out. So that's the screen press for the press grinder. So I put that in there. And now I have this. So now you push this. Oops, damn it. I didn't have the cup underneath it, of course. Wasting oil, wasting oil. Make sure you put a cup underneath there, which I keep forgetting sometimes. That's why I try to keep it under there all the time. So now you're going to hit this. And when you hit this, oil's going to come out of there. Whatever else was in that dispenser, and then the cartridge case the container is going to come out. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm straining this again, I'm just going to pour the oil that I have left in here. Because like I said, I am going to strain that over again. And now you wash this container out. So as simple as putting a little bit of dish soap in there, rinsing it out. Drying it. Drying it and then reinserting it. Okay. So this is in here, but before I reinsert it, I want to show you what the hack is, the actual press screen hack is. You can buy these on Amazon, $7 for 6 of them. $7 or $8, $7.99. I think it was $6.99, maybe $7.99. But anyways, under $8 for sure. Comes with 6 of them. So you take this, and then you're gonna take this, and you're gonna put it in here. Fits perfectly. Okay. The little curved part of this folds up along the edge, and it holds it right where it's supposed to hold. Now the thing is that's why I check the temperature and I knock it down at 10 degrees. And the reason I do that, let me wash my hand. The reason I do that is because I don't want the cannabis to burn when I'm decarbing. So now what I'm going to do, because I'm just going to do it right here so you can see this, is I'll do it like this. There we go. All right, so make believe this is in the LEVO machine. So I'm going to get this done this way. And now I have this green in there. So now what I'm going to do is take and put my herb in there. So I have 2 ounces of herbs that this is trim. And in the pods, with 2 of these, you only get 1 ounce. So you can't do a full 2 ounces of trim. With this, you can. So now I'm just going to pour the trim in here. Spilling it all over my counter because people are watching. And I'm still not going to get 2 ounces of it in there. I'm only going to get 1 ounce. Looks like. So I'm going to have to do this twice. Okay. I really thought I got a seed. Need to keep my seeds. Another one. And another one. I thought I picked out all the seeds out here. All right, so I can get about 1 ounce. So this is 1 ounce, a full ounce. I'm sure this is probably another ounce in here. So I'm only going to get 1 ounce. But it's still going to be better than actually having it in there because it's going to get absorbed more, not packed into this thing. My counter's clean, I promise. So now I'm going to take and put this in the machine. Press the button when you put this in here, and then it goes in easier. Oh, I can't see. Spot than I normally do. Okay, now press the button and it just drops in. Okay, so once you have the little holes lined up, press the button, it drops in. I always put the cup underneath there just in case because I'm not going to try to mess it up. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is close the door. When you close the door, then you have to choose cycle. So what I'm going to do is choose cycle. The first one, I don't need to dry it, so it's not wet herbs. So wet cannabis. So next one, activate. And then I'm going to go, it says 240. I'm actually going to go and do 220. And I'm going to hit. It's going to do it for 30 minutes. Start. Press. Now it's starting. Okay, so now it's going to go and it's going to do its decarb. So it's going to decarb, and then when it's done its decarb, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my oil in there. So I'm going to add 1 ounce of oil, 1 cup of oil, into the machine. I'm not going to do it now, but I am going to measure it out just so I can show you. Pour it in there, 1 cup. And then what I'm going to do is repeat. So I'm going to put a cup in there for 1 ounce of trim, And then I'm going to do the same thing all over again with the same oil, not different oil. I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna refuse the same oil and then do it a second time. This is the first time I'm doing it with cannabis. I was hoping that the 2 ounces was gonna fit in there, but I really don't wanna compact it. I probably could have, taken and put another press on there and pushed it down and then got more in there, but I kind of don't want to because I want it to infuse and have room to infuse. So I'm going to leave it like that. When it's done, then I'm going to open it up, pour the oil in, and then I'm going to hit cycle and I'm going to hit infuse. When I hit infuse, I am going to go and do 10 degrees less than normal. It'll still infuse, but it'll be 10 degrees less than normal. And then what I do personally, because I want to make sure that I get everything out of the oils that I can, out of the cannabis that I can, is I do it for 6 hours. Normally, the cycle is supposed to only be 2 hours, but I like to have it done longer because I just want everything out of there. So then when it's done doing that, you just take that out, and then I'm going to do the same thing as I did at the beginning of this video. I'm going to take the press, I'm going to let it drain, and then I'm going to take the press, and I'm going to press it all down and get as much of the oil as I can in the cup. And then once I do that, then I'm going to take it and I'm going to go and do it again. A little bit more until I get as much as I can out of it. Then I'm going to empty out the herbs and I'm going to put it in the press, and then I'm going to press and get the rest of it out of there. You can do it by just taking it all out of there, but you're going to have a lot of liquid. But this way it's a little bit harder, and then you can get all the herbs out, mostly herbs, and a little bit of oil, so it's easier. You have to filter it again though. So now what I'm going to do is show you the filtering process that I use. So I take this filter here, which is a micron filter. If I need to pre-screen filter, I can do it in cheesecloth because I don't want to do all of it in here because then it just clogs it up. So I'll do it in cheesecloth. But with this process, I didn't have to because I used the screen instead. So the screen worked. And now I'm going to put the oil in its good container, which for some reason I didn't get out. I want to put it in a dark container, so I have this. I think it was soy sauce or container. That's what I think it was. Anyways, I may be wrong, but now I'm going to put this on there, and then I'm going to put this on here, and this is a micron, I believe it's a just a micron filter. So now pour, and that's going to go into the container. It wasn't as bad as I thought. At the end it's a little bit yuckier. And of course I'm going to have some residue on there, which is perfectly fine. Try to use a dark bottle for this only because you want to have the oil not get broken down. And now the filter is clogged a little bit, so then you get yourself a little spoon. So use this one even though it's, I don't like it, it's got too much on it. This spoon. And mix it up a little bit, and that's going to get the last of the oils in there. And then you could just let it leak a little bit more, but I think I got most of it out. So then you're going to have this left over. I'll show you. You're going to have that left over, and you just take it to the sink and wash it out. Put a cover on it, label it, and you're good. I'm going to be taking this oil and I am going to be using it for my aromatherapy oils, and maybe even later on for my Reiki, if I'm actually doing some of the, when I do the cupping, I might be able to use that instead of the actual can of coconut oil that I use. I'm also going to infuse some coconut oil because I can make my own coconut oil rub instead of buying it, and maybe even do some cannabis one, do some more cannabis one and use that in my Reiki if the customer would like me to do that. My client would like me to use that, depending on them on whether or not they want to have that used or just regular oils. I think that's the end of the video. This is still warming up, so it's going to warm up. And it's going to do its infusion. I mean, it's going to do the decarbing when it's done doing the decarbing. This is good for your skin. This is good for everything. So you just put it on there and use it. And you're good. Oops, sorry again. My battery is getting low. I need a new phone, but got a ways still. So then now it's just to clean up. What I'm going to end up doing is putting some of them oils into the smaller bottles like these. I got to get more of these. And with the spray, I did it with the herbal. I did herbal spray also. So I got to get a couple of spray bottles. And this is just the herbs straight in here. This actually has way more odor than the oils does, because the oils has a little bit of the oil odor to it. Oh, it smells so good. So, oh, there we go. I know, I'm weird. But I hope you like the idea that I'm using the press in order to extract it and clean it. It's a lot easier than a cheesecloth. I was using a cheesecloth and I was wringing and wringing, and then I'm getting my hands all nasty and dirty, you know. With the French press, it's easier. So now I just take this and I just go over to the trash can, put this into the sink, and then take this, put this over the trash can, and then just go and scoop it out and get rid of it. I can also take this and use this for my worms if I want, and put it in my worm farm, because it smells good, of course, and it's not going to hurt the worms, and the worms will eat it and use it as good food. So I'm thinking I might do that. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. Share, like, and follow me on Facebook, Roses, Creations, and Healing. And then I'm also going to be doing a YouTube channel soon. And when I do that, I'll post these videos there. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.